8 on the Sunday morning. Get ready, people. We're going to get things a little sexy and crazy here. W-2s are in, or will soon be. But before you run to file or sit down to do it yourself, there are some changes to the 1040 tax form that you need to know about. Joining me this morning to talk about those changes is Jonathan Fruitkin. He's from the Fruitkin Law Group in Scottsdale. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks.
You know, people hear the word, and no offense, but when they hear the word taxes, the eyes roll into the back of the head and they go, move on to something else. Don't go anywhere, because there are some important things you need to know this morning. How many changes are in store this year?
Well, there's a handful of things that have changed, and this isn't going to be too bad, because this is kind of the Olympic season for taxes, because the new forms just came out the other day.
Okay.
So we know exactly what is going to be different when you look at your tax form.
So the W-2 is going to be like slope style this year.
That's it. And so to win the gold,
okay.
I think I'm taking the analogy
I like
too far.
it. No, it's quite all right.
To win the gold, what you have to do is understand there are two major changes.
Okay.
And the major changes are, number one, for people who make a large amount of income, more than $400,000 a year, there is going to be a rollback to the Clinton tax rate. So that means that those people are going to be paying more in taxes. That was part of the deal they did in Congress in order to get the government reopened.
Okay, what's the other one?
The other main change has to do with Obamacare, and that is for people who make $200,000 or more a year, they're going to start to see their Medicare tax go up. You know, when you get your paycheck and there's that money out for Medicare, well, that's actually going to be a little bit higher for people at higher incomes, and for people who just get investment income. So people who are retirees, they're going to start paying a little bit more toward Medicare tax.
Okay, how about folks that are below those big money levels? Will they see any major changes?
There's not going to be any major changes for people who are below those levels. Yep, you're going to see kind of the usual minor changes. So make sure that whatever tax program you're using, you have the current year, because everything always changes just a little bit when the forms come out.
Now, you were mentioning, this is kind of interesting, here we are in 2014. Last year, for filing taxes in 2013 for same-sex married couples, big changes.
Big change. This is the first year that married couples who got married in states that allow gay marriage, that they are required to file together. And so what that means is, for a lot of them, there'll actually be a tax penalty, right? Because two people who both work in a marriage often will see higher taxes. Well, that's going to be the case this year, so there's a little bit of unintended consequence of getting married.
Well, now they're feeling the pain of everybody else that's being married, right? So this is, by the way, first time on a federal level.
That's
federal level.
That's right. And just to kind of put a point on that, for people who are in states like Arizona or somewhere else where it's not actually legal, if you have a civil partnership, civil union, those people do not file together. You continue to file separately.
Is there anything else in particular that, you know, the average Joe out there, family of four, needs to know when he goes to file his taxes?
Well, two things. One is make sure that you double check your work, because they will look at it even if you're at a lower level, because the computer does it now.
Yeah, right.
And the second thing is, remember that your tax season for 2014 has begun, so start putting them away as much as you can for retirement and start paying down your debt, and things will be a lot easier next year.
Lastly, do you like the way that things are going with the e-file as opposed to having maybe an accountant do it? Do you like that?
I think for a vast majority of people, it is much, much more cost efficient and much more effective to use the software. However, if you have any questions at all, it's always better to call a professional, because all you can do is get yourself into trouble, and maybe you'll get a little bigger refund, too.
All right, Jonathan, thank you very much. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the Olympics and tax season. All right. Hey, we got to